What's up, suckers? I bet you the audio is much better this time. I don't know. I'll wait till everybody gets in. Let me know how the audio is, and I don't know. It better be better. If it's not, I'm just gonna basically, I don't know, stab myself with my beat up hand and my axe. All right, just waiting for the delay. It's kind of going. Yeah, going. Yeah, I think we're going now. So what's going on? I'm just drinking my Red Bull, hanging in there. I busted my ass. You see that? A little bit of road rash is good for everybody, I think. But anyway. Did someone say shave? Hells no! Holy slackers. Can you hear me finally? Yeah, the audio should be much better now. I know I had to order a couple cables and get a bunch of different stuff going, you know, so. But what's going on, man? I needed a Red Bull today. I was kind of dragging ass all day. Joseph, nice shirt. You like that? All right. I just finished lapping my i9 too. Yeah, it's always fun. So, yes, we're moving slightly. We got the camera on the slider. It's pretty low percentage. Let me make sure that, yeah, it's about 10%. So you'll see a little bit of movement going through. All right. Held for review. So what's going on, guys? Yeah, if you noticed, if you followed me on Twitter or pretty much Instagram, you'll see my little boo-boo right there. It's more of a bruise than anything than road rash. Riding a skateboard over 20 miles an hour, sometimes things go bad and you bust your ass. So that's pretty much what it is. And it's my Red Bull. You know, you can always donate to me on Patreon and stuff and for Red Bulls. You know what I'm saying? What's up, Tullius? What's up, slackers? Oh, man. So, yep. So the stream today is basically, we're going to lap that 9900 KS. If you've been following my streams and stuff, basically we had some, I don't know, we had some paste issues when we first started off. And then we moved on and, I don't know, it kept on getting better and better. We got up to about 6920. So one of the things I usually do on all CPUs, like pretty much every CPU, I'll end up doing the W13175 too. But yeah, I lapped them. So you'll see this one is the normal KS that I got. And this is my 9900K. So you see, obviously you see the copper. But I'm going to end up showing you guys how to do it today. So it doesn't take much. Just take some elbow grease, you know. We're going to try to hit that 7 gigahertz on R15. Now, most people that do 7 gigahertz, they're not doing all cores. So we're going for all core 7 gigahertz, not CPU Z 7 gigahertz. I might as well just do that when we actually do it because it's kind of annoying, to be honest. For these Red Bulls, it's 2 for $5. But anyway, so yep, we're gonna make that look like this, and I'm gonna basically explain why I do everything and whatever. So let's get into the tools you need, okay? Let me just put this down over here. I don't want to break stuff because I usually break everything, including myself. All right, another slackers join the chat. Nice. What's up, Gregory? All right, so to lap a CPU, what do you do? Well, the most important part, you see this thing right here? You see where it says bearded hardware? This is glass. So I want to give a big shout out to Thermaltake. So I told those guys, yeah, I'm going to do a lapping video, but I need a piece of glass. So I think it was their P3. I think it's the P3, the Thermaltake P3 case. It comes with glass and it could be like a table. So I reached out to them. They're like, hey, we can etch your logo into one and we'll send you one. I was like, dude, I'm game. So I want a big shout out for them sponsoring this video. We love you, Thermaltake. Good shit. So anyway, so that's the first thing you need. You need glass. You need to make sure it's flat. That's the whole point of having the glass. So theoretically, it should be flat. So that's the first part. The second part, lots of sandpaper. So I have anything, I usually start out about like 400. That's to get it down and dirty. And then we start smoothing it off and do about 800. I don't really like to go any more than probably about 1,000, but I don't know. It's funny because I always forget that I actually have sandpaper, so I have a shit ton of it. So I have a bunch of it. So, but anyway, so you need sandpaper. So we're gonna grab the 400 first. So we're gonna grab that one, and I'll put these to get them out of the way. So the other thing is tape. Now, this isn't any ordinary tape. This is actually Gorilla Tape, but this tape, you need something strong like duct tape, because you basically don't, what we're going to do is we're going to end up taking the sandpaper, when I take it out, put it on the glass, and I'm going to tape it down on the glass, and we're going to do it all manually. So, take some questions real quick. Is 5 gigahertz at 285 good? Not really, to be honest. It depends on the chip. So if you're going for 9900, maybe. All right, so here we go. Take out the first piece, and I'll show you what I do to kind of keep progress. And I recommend you do this for every chip you do, because that way you want to see what's going on. So what we're gonna do is gonna rip up the tape. I'm gonna do a nice big piece because it's kind of I don't know. I do a figure 8 movement, so you kind of want a good amount of real estate to do it. So, and the whole reason why we're doing this is because it's almost more noticeable. So basically on the CPU itself, you notice the top part. Well, on soldered CPUs, they tend to warp a little bit. So what that means is you'll see as I start sanding it down, we'll see how it changes to see how good it is. Because a lot of these, it seems like when they're soldered, they warp a little bit more than others. So let's get down to business. Take some questions. I have a roll of Gorilla Crane. Yeah, dude, seriously, this is like one tool that you should always have is duct tape. You can literally do anything with duct tape. It's kind of amazing, actually. All right, so let's tape out one side, and remember, keep it fully flat. You don't want any like little notches in it because that's gonna mess up your flatness. So, Tullius 9900K just found a dog 5 gigahertz at 1385. Wow, that's like probably the worst I've actually seen. Was that just a K or a 9900KS? Damn. All right. I usually do the sides too to keep it more balanced. And what I'll do is, like, after a period of time, basically the sandpaper gets a little bit, I don't know, used and worn. So I'll just tape another piece on top of it. It's a shame that I had to cover up that beautiful beard, if you know what I'm saying. It's kind of hard with this hand. Yeah, if you guys noticed, I pretty much busted my ass this weekend. I do it every once in a while, you know. Hey, chicks dig scars, right? But yeah, so now that we have our tape down, it's pretty simple to see. Duct tape and zip ties. Yep. Where are we going? This is the second thing you should have on everyone. Zip ties, my friend. Well, we don't need them for this one this time. So, how do you clean it after lapping? Oh, good. I'll get into there. We're gonna go step by step. And you cannot lap tater tots. You can't make tater tots better than they are. That's just how it works. Mythbusters, duct tape. I love that show. I used to watch it all the time. Slagger! Jimmy Joe PC Tech. What's up, man? All right, we'll get into how to clean and all that good stuff, but let's get to lapping the CPU. I'm trying to finish this off. Nope. I'll just put this right there. There's a link in the description on Amazon. Basically, if you want to support my channel, you can buy it on Amazon. You know, it's an affiliate link, so I get a little bit. To be honest, it's really not that much, but so it's by your discretion, but every little bit helps, if you know what I'm saying. But anyway, so this is how we're going to clean it. But we'll get there. Let me finish my Red Bull. We'll get there. Was that with the new wheels? Nope. Actually, there was no new wheels involved, so that might be 30 miles an hour. But everybody needs tweezers. How did you forget them? No. I don't need tweezers. I'm big. Well, yeah. We'll leave that one there. You clean it with your tongue. Slacker live! All right, I think I'm good now. All right. Let's see. So, the first thing I do when I'm sanding a chip, I want to be able to figure out, like, what's going on with it. So, what I like to do is I like to put a grid on it. So, what I'll do is I'll start. Doesn't have to be, like, perfect or anything. Let me just put this down. And you basically just create lines, use a Sharpie. Now, what this is going to do is when we're sanding it off, you can actually see the high and the low spots on it. So basically, you can go back and forth and actually see if you're doing anything. And it's kind of cool because you get to like learn to see like what is going on with the chip. Where's the high spots? Where's the low spots? So it doesn't need to be perfect. Just something to show like that you're actually doing something like what you're doing. So I don't know if you guys can see that well, but it's kind of weird with the light. But yeah, so this is a KS, a 9900 KS. We were doing a 5.3 R15, which is all cores, on water, basically at 1.26, which is actually pretty baller. The other 9900K would only do 5.2 before I lapped it, and then I lapped it, and now it was due 5.3, but that one does it at 1.29. So this one is pretty good. So is someone holding the camera, or do you have some sort of bubble tripod? So if you guys are noticing the stream how the camera's moving everywhere, I have a slider that I bought like a while ago, and I've wanted to come back and forth so it just moves all around. So I figured it'd be cool and give some dynamicness to videos. So it's cool stuff. What are you gonna do? So anyway, so you'll see the grid. Now all you have to do, I mean, it's pretty simple. All we're gonna do is basically just go in like a figure 8 movement, like this. Oop, yeah, I cannot write. Like that. So this is where, like, my hands are really big, so you probably won't even see the CPU. So what I'll do is I'll just go like this in a figure 8 motion. Just keep on doing it. After a couple times, what I'll do is I'll turn it 45 degrees and just keep going. And every couple of minutes, what I'll do is I'll basically go over and kind of see and check out the grid array. You'll see some of the marker come off onto the sandpaper and stuff. Okay. So you can basically see already that most of the grid's all over. You'll see that what this is telling you, I don't know how, can you guys see it? It's kind of little, you'll see little dark spots. But what I can see here is that the inside is basically, it's concave. So basically, when you're putting paste down, it's not, the middle is basically lower than the rest of the chip. So that's probably creating a pocket of air. So that's why it's cracking so easily. So can you do a delidding stream for the 9900K? I will actually do, so a little bit on plans while we're sanding this chip, because you guys get the point already, right? Is that I want to test this before I delid it on liquid nitrogen and water. And then what we'll do is on the next stream is I'll actually delid it and then see like what we can do and how if it improved or if it was worse. All right, so you can tell, well, you can tell a little bit already. I don't know how well you guys can see. It's a little bit difficult. There's a little copper showing on this side. What that means is that it's actually, that's the high spot. So that means it's basically, it's a lot higher on this side than the other sides. So I almost guarantee that basically after this lap job, I don't love that word, lap job, is basically this is gonna, I don't know. I think it's gonna make a huge difference after. Like I said, with my 9900K, just from lapping it, I went from a 5.2 chip to a 5.3 chip. So this, you can pretty much, it really depends on how bad your IHS is. To be honest, I like doing this, and then you don't really need a delid. But delidding, if you want to go for that extra on air and stuff, you could delid and then basically put liquid metal on it. So, but let's keep doing this. Oh yeah, brother. Why do you sand dry? I don't know. I mean, you could wet it up. I just don't really see that much of a difference. You can. The problem with the water, it kind of tends to clog it up. I mean, I usually like put a little bit on there, but to be honest, I never see it. It doesn't matter too much. Let's see. So you're starting to see. So now, I don't know if it's hard for you guys to see, but now this side is all copper on the end, and then this side is starting to show the same. So basically, the middle of this chip was a lot lower than the whole rest of the outside. So when you're putting this on the pot, my pots are lapped by I lap them every time I get one. Oh, I don't want to knock stuff over because I typically do that. But if you look on this one, you'll see that it's all copper, right? Well, I want this chip to basically sit completely flat against the pot, so that way you can hammer out and get some good scores. It helps with paste cracking. It helps for getting more megahertz. I've had a buddy, famous overclocker, Dan Cop. He's basically, I don't know. He asked me, he's like, dude, should I delid? Should I delid? And I'm like, yeah, dude, you have to delid. If you really want to get that extra performance, you want to delid, or not delid, sorry, lap. And he actually proved it, and he was able to do about 65 megahertz more on liquid nitrogen than before the lap. And you'll get more consistent benches too, which is always a bonus. You'll need a much higher grit for wet sanding. Try using WD-40 instead of water. It lubricates. And yeah, I just don't like getting messy. It's messy enough just doing this with when basically all the coating comes off. And we're already at a 400 grit, so we're at a pretty heavy grit now. You don't really need to go much. I'll go up and clean it up a little bit. I like to have a little scuff on it. It's kind of like a paint job on a car, right? You'll see when they like primer a car, they'll basically go over and scuff it so that way the paint adheres. I like to do something similar. So you can actually start to see it's to be honest, it's really high on the outsides and very low in the middle, which is very like a bad sign as far as like getting a perfect flat center. So I have a feeling that this is going to make quite a big difference. Maybe we'll be able to do 5.4 instead of 5.3 on water. Do you think lapping is worth it on air? Yes, it makes a big difference on everything. The only thing is, like, if you're going to do on air, you're going to want to lap your air cooler too. So it's not just one way. You got to do it both ways, right? So whatever your cooler is you want to lap, and I highly recommend doing it because you'd be surprised at, like, how bad a lot of the coolers are from the factory. So what you want to do is just basically, you're going to do the same thing with the cooler that I'm doing here with the chip itself. That paper is cock and move. What? Huh? The move is the proper whatever. Anyway, so here we go. So much fun. You can see the figure 8 going on the camera. Yeah, the whole thing about this is to try to get it as flat as possible so that way the bond between your paste and the cooler is at maximum effect. Yeah, I mean, we're going for performance. That's the whole thing. We want to get more performance. And to be honest, this is cheap, you know? The only bad part about this is that you cannot return it or RMA it now because you just sanded everything off there. Which kind of sucks, but hey, I like to live dangerously, if you haven't realized. And we want to make sure that we're doing the right... I just want more performance. Everything I do, we try to get more performance out of. Shit, my golf cart, my skateboards, all sorts of cool stuff. The only lappy doesn't end with child support. I love it. See, you see the guns? This is how I've gotten the guns over the years. This and basically all the liquid nitrogen doers. A funny story is I used to live in this apartment. It was basically 3rd floor up. And I used to carry 3 of those 30 liters that you see me pour all the time up 3 flights of stairs completely full with liquid nitrogen. People used to think I was like nuts, but that's how you get the guns, bro. That's how you get the guns. And chicks dig guns. But anyway, so I don't know if you can see this. It's a little difficult. I think right there is about good. Is you'll see that the middle is completely silver. What that means is you can see the copper layout all around it. What this means is the outside is much higher than the inside. So basically, I think that's concave. I don't know. I forget the terms. Science class was a blur. But but anyway, so this is pretty much a ideal candidate for a lap job because when this is completely flat, we're probably not going to have much issues with paste cracking and stuff. I mean, it happens every once in a while because it depends on the paste and stuff. The last Grizzly I used actually worked phenomenal. But yeah. So like I said, after a period of time, I'll like to go back and put some lines on it again. Try to keep up with, see what's going on. Because what I like to do is, I'll basically get it down till it's all copper. That's how I know that it's completely flat, is when all of the silver, I forget what the heck it's called, but all the nickel plating is basically taken off. And that way you know you want to be careful on how much you take down. I've seen with some coolers, I mean, these are pretty thick. You don't have to worry too much about it. But as soon as it gets copper, then it's usually pretty good. What type of sandpaper? I think this is 3M. In the beginning of the stream I showed. You can just basically go over to your local Lowe's or Home Depot in the States. To be honest, I'm not even sure where you go when you're out of the country. Usually I always lap the CPUs before I go anywhere, like Taiwan and stuff. So you can see, look at that. I mean, that's pretty bad, to be honest. Let's see, it's kind of hard with the lights. There you go. You can see how silver it is in the middle. That means it's actually quite low there, and that the cooler is not even touching it. So that means that creates a perfect area. Oh, jeez. That's rough. Now you guys know how I lost that CPU in over at Gamers Nexus, which I didn't really. I'm actually gonna show. I don't know if I'm gonna do a stream or a video on that one, fixing that 3900X, but that one's gonna be pretty cool. I'm just waiting for some gear to come in. We're gonna do that one too. Caved in, outward with become convex. Sand till you see silicone. Well, I be sanding a lot because basically this is just the IHS, and then you have the solder, and then you have the die. Well, yeah. So it looks like it's pretty bad. The worst chips that I've ever seen are like the big monster cores, like the 18 cores. Like I've lapped 18 cores, 16 cores, the 14 cores, 10 cores, 8 cores, 6 cores, 4 cores. I've pretty much lapped them all. And the worst ones I saw, and I think that's because the IHS is so big, and then it kind of gets worse after a while. Or where the monster 18 cores. I'm actually excited to take the W3175 and see how bad it goes. All right, see how we're going. Still getting there. I'm really surprised how much it is in the middle right there. Kind of bad. That could be a big culprit for cracking paste right there when you're trying to get a mount. So if it was AMD, it'd be Dunsky. Oh, that is true. I don't like the whole AMD. I mean, I like AMD, don't get me wrong. I just don't like the whole pins in there. I always tend to mess them up, and I always have to bend them puppies back. And they seem to, like they got thinner over the years. And then when you drop it on accidentally, like I did over at Gamers Nexus, man, now I got to go resolder all the pins back. So, yeah, that video is going to be pretty epic, because what we're going to do is I'm going to desolder the pins on the 3900X and put new pins on. And that really is all about having the right tools. It's always about the tools, man. That's why you always need duct tape. You always need CRC. Sandpaper. All sorts of good stuff. AMD might explain it. Also, very different IHS constructions. Well, I'd rather do that in an AMD video. That's pretty much what I'll end up doing. Now, this goes for the same for AMD pretty much as far as lapping. I haven't really taken one where I've desoldered it or basically deleted it. That will probably be something that I do in the future, though. And I'm interested to see. I know for sure on Intel chips. I've literally been doing it with Intel chips for years. And that's just because Intel owned the performance crown for so long. It's actually pretty cool to like see like AMD come back, and now we're getting all the goodies. Gotta love goodies. All right, let's see where we're at. So we still got like this giant circle in the middle. Just goes to show you how bad this one is. It just needs to go. Hope you do some initial testing tonight. Well, the whole goal is basically I want to throw it on a water setup real quick, and then we'll get it ready, and then we'll just put it on liquid nitrogen real quick too. I do have some time limits. I have about maybe, I would say a little bit over almost 2 hours left. So we should have enough time to be able to do some initial testing, but we'll go. Did you say tools? No, I said toolius. Toolius. All right. So what are you slackers up today? Up to today? I think it's because of the patent for pin design at AMD. Oh. Well, I don't know if you guys ever noticed. So you had the 7700K, right? And then when X299 came out, they had the 7740X, right? So basically, it's the newest generation of the what's it called? The 4-core, the 7700K. It was basically the only difference was the actually PCB design. And what's crazy, just by changing that PCB design, they were able to gain like 100 to 200 megahertz, and like all the records just like went crazy. It was kind of insane time, because it shows you that the PCB thickness and difference made a huge difference in clocks and overclocking. So I'm surprised they didn't try to do that with the X299 platform more, instead of keeping up with the small design that they have on these. It was pretty impressive, actually. Got a hot date? Well, to be honest, I told my buddy I would watch the football game between the Packers and the 49ers. That looks like to be the game of the week, if you know what I'm saying. Put my bike away for... Oh, so the reason why I didn't stream yesterday, too, not only because I busted my ass and messed up my hand, but they called... the shop basically called about my Ducati. And I haven't had my Ducati for like two months, and I've been going crazy, so... For one reason. Another, mostly all my old Intel CPUs work. Yeah, but that goes for AMD stuff too, you know. I mean, you can't really hate on either company. I mean, it's nice to see the underdog, But are you guys going to be the same way when Intel's the underdog? I don't know. All right, let's see where we're at. Man, we're going to keep on doing this one, and it's still the center. That just shows you how low it is in the middle, which is definitely... I'm so glad we're lapping this. I can almost... I'm wondering if we're going to get 5-4 on water. I mean, 5-4 on the water is a good chip. Where is it? Thanks, bro. Slow and steady, I guess. Where's Dankop? Sad for you. Get well soon, bro. Oh, Dan's here. What's going on, Dan? Pin CPUs are cheaper to make. Yeah, but they're also a pain in the ass to deal with. The one thing that I do like about AMD's CPUs is like the motherboards. So on an Intel motherboard with those little pins and stuff, I can't tell you how many times I've bent those too. Trying to go through it with like tweezers or like a little metal pin and trying to bend them back. Because then like if you bend the wrong part of the socket, you basically start losing memory channels and all sorts of stuff. Which is crazy. Only if Intel offers better performance per dollar. Well, that's the thing. Right now, with basically how AMD is, I don't really see that performance for, I don't know, dollar ratio. Because you get that to think, like the 3900X was going for way over $500. I think the lowest I saw it for a while was like 800, unless you got a deal on it, right? So you can't really say AMD is cheap for bang for the buck. The 3600X is actually probably one of the best banging CPUs. I mean, highly recommend for a budget PC doing that one. Says, I wonder why we have to choose sides. The only thing we are fanboys. That's true. I'm a performance fanboy. No, to be honest, I'll bench anything. I don't care. It's kind of nice to have options now. It's kind of, I don't know, not to say that I was bored with Intel, but over the years, I mean, Broadwell E was like a terrible platform. I mean, it was the worst client. I mean, we were doing 5.1 with 10 cores. It was like awful. And the only reason why it beat everything in performance is because they put the 2 extra cores on there. I remember going bidding and like getting a 5.2 chip was like epic, which is awful. See, this guy's gets old. This is for the guns, man. For the guns. All right, let's see where we're at now. Still, it's getting better, but you could see that in the middle of it, man. It's pretty much, dude, really low. I'm surprised that it was that bad, but hey. All right, so let's put some lines back on it again. Make it all pretty. I mean, you don't really have to do this part. I just like to do it just to see kind of what's taking shape. I mean, you really see it from the copper anyway. Well, yeah. So, all right, just keep going. Now, you'll see, like, notice the sandpaper is obviously getting weak now. So what you want to do is basically go and add another piece of paper on top of this and do it again. And I think we're at that time to replace the 400. I like doing it on real estate. Much better to, instead of doing it on like a little tiny one. So I usually get the big ones. So, and that's what she said. Let's see. Let's get some more 400. I think someone asked before, these are 3M. I mean, I have a couple different kinds, but to be honest, I'd like to use 3M anytime I can, because their products are usually spot on and done really well. So, the fuck? I don't know, something dropped and I don't know what it was. But, all right. No more paste issues. I hope not. I'm over paste issues. You saw in the first stream, basically, I was having all sorts of paste issues. I guess I got a bad batch of Grizzly. It was an older one. So, basically what I think is, if you're going to get it into this, or get, like, Cryonaut, make sure you keep it in the sealed package. Because once you take it out, I think that some air gets into the syringes. So you want to make sure that... Oh, I thought it damaged the glass. But you want to make sure that it stays in the package. That way it stays dry. Or not stays dry, but stays wet. Because it will dry out, it seems. And I think that's what the issue is with the older Grizzly I had. It's because I think I took it out of that package and then I never put it in. And obviously when I used it, it's old. So just make sure if you're going to do that, keep it in the package. Seal it. A little scared, though. Don't be scared. $3,900 at $500 is very good value. That's if you can find it out there. You might be able to find it now because everybody's excited about the $3,950 and Threadripper and stuff. But come on. If you can get that for $500 all the time, I mean, that'd be great. Which is bound to happen sooner or later. I know a lot of people were bringing up about the 3900X or the 3950X, how much it's actually going to be. That's the one thing that I'm done. Like, it's one thing, you have the retail price, but once the stock is short, and then you just like look on eBay and all the different spots, that's where you start having, that's where the price I think will go up. I think you'll probably see about 1,000, something like that for a 3950X. That's if you're trying to do it. So, or you're trying to get one and couldn't get one off a Newegg, or they sold out so quick. Oh yeah, see, this is helping quite a bit. Let's see how much better. Yeah, now it's really taking it off. So you're seeing, you can see that the circle's kind of going away. Let's see, right there. Yeah, you can see the silver versus the copper. But you just keep doing, just keep sanding, just keep sanding. I wish I could do it with my other hand, but my other hand's kind of jacked. Gotta love road rash. To be honest, I hate road rash. I once crashed a motorcycle at like 60 miles an hour, and I lost all the skin from this hand. And what they do is, you'll notice like it kind of looks like I have gravel in there. That's just dry blood. But when I did that and lost all the skin on my hand, they literally had to take a rubber brush and scrape everything on your hand. It's the most painful thing. I don't think I've broken arms, legs. Dude, I think that was the most painful thing I've ever had the pleasure of dealing with. I would definitely not call it pleasure. I just put Grizzly on air and cooling, and it's 5% hotter than my non-household name Jet or Diamond compound. Might have got a bad batch. Well, it depends. To be honest, I've seen a lot of bad batches, and not just like Grizzly, but like all the paste manufacturers. I've probably pasted CPUs more than like thousands and thousands and thousands of times. I went through so much paste. I mean, you got to be figured for like 10 years. Most people just put paste on and then done. The other thing you have to watch out when you got to try to go through and see, you basically have to go and try multiple times, because sometimes it also could be like how your mount. It's not always the CPU sometimes. Sometimes it's the mount or the paste. It's not the paste, it's the mount. So you got to be kind of careful of what you do. What are you going at? I did that to my face on the skateboard. Ooh, Peter Jordan, that sucks. F on the skateboard vid. Well, it was at night. So the problem I have is that I have a couple different cameras that I could use at night, but none of them actually take like quality at night. It's because it's a small sensor. And if I take my Sony, I'll end up, I don't know, it wouldn't be good. Jake Lee, money, thanks broski. You got my Red Bull for the next stream. Love you, man. Alright. Make the CPU as flat as Earth. We're not going to go into that discussion. Alright, so where we're at right now. Oh, it looks like the circle, or the little hole is getting smaller. And so the lap job is going in full effect. Oh, yeah. All right, let's take some questions. What do we got here? Shrug, I've used TG Thermal Grizzly a couple of years and been very happy. No dryness, no cracking, no problems. Nice. Oh, I use it too, dude. Sometimes you just get a bad batch. It's just how it is. I used Thermal Grizzly Conductonaut at my old 2600 and it was great. Knocked off 8C. Yeah, I like Conductonaut is actually what I use too on if I want to go to like, if I want to delete a 9900K, I'll put the IHS back on and I'll use Conductonaut. That's my game. True, I change pre-paste annually. I might have screwed up for sure. Yeah, you'd be surprised, man. Sometimes I'll think it was like, oh, the paste just sucks, and then I look over and I look at my mount, and you can usually tell. Like I've showed you guys after I bench that when I pop off the pot, you'll see, you can tell. Like this. This was the last one we did 6920 on. You can actually look at the pot and tell how good a mount it was. Now you do that like a lot of different times. You'll be able to like see what's a good mount and what's not a good mount. So that's a little pro tip. It's kind of how pretty much every single time that I do any type of benching, especially GPU, I'll always take pictures of the mount just to compare for like a historical sense. I don't know, I'll have to do a GPU one too, just to show you guys. What about some light in the room, Slacker? What is it, too dark for you guys? We've got enough light in here. Red would cost $10 in America. No, I can get 4 Red Bulls for $10. That, at least that size. Use your left to lap the CPU. That hand is already partially lapped. Is this the KS? Yes. So if you guys are just joining, or in fact, I guess I really didn't explain it too well, is that this is the 9900 KS that I've been benching with. This one was doing 6.9, 20 gigahertz on R15. That's all cores. We're trying to go for that magical 7 gigahertz barrier. I mean, I could hit 7 gigahertz on one core easily, or even probably like 4 or 6, and even 8 just if it's not doing anything. But we want to run that processor at 100%. How many levels and grits of paper do you before you're done? Well, to be honest, most people say they like to buff it all the way up to like 2,000 grit. To be honest, I like to go from like 400 to 800. What I'll do is I'll go on copper here. If you see, like we're almost getting to that point where it's all copper. Once I hit all copper, I'm gonna go over it with one sheet of 800, and then I'll do 1,000, and that's it. I don't like that. I like a little bit of scuff because I find that the paste adheres better and builds a better bond if there's a little bit of scuff on it. What's up, slackers? Laid on the desk near the action is fine. Oh, come on. You can see everything in there. Isn't it time to ask slackers to like the stream? I think it is. We only have 62 likes. We got 200 concurrent people. Well, more than that. And we only have 62 likes. Come on. So if you don't know, basically if you like something, this helps to gain everything for, I don't know, what is it? It helps with the YouTube algorithm. So basically, more people will get to see it, and then we have more fun that way. Because then it supports the streams, blah, 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 all that good shit. All right, Big Al, 268. Thanks for the $10. Here's for some tater tots. I am getting kind of hungry. I think I'm going to have tater tots later. I mean, who doesn't love tater tots? Like, for real. Hurry up, Bearded. You are way too slow with lapping. Yeah, I know. I'll get in there. Leave me alone. All right, just trying to get this one down. Once we get it down, it's almost there. You can't rush these things, broski. Can't rush it. I'm more interested in the price on the TRX 40. I know. I'm actually, so I have to talk to Steve again, but I think we're gonna do something in December, and we're gonna be benching that TR Threadripper. I'm kind of stoked about that. I'm kind of jealous because I see some people have it now, like other overclockers, and thinking, why do I not have one? Come on, AMD, where's my Threadripper setup? We could be totally doing some cool shit right now. But that's just how it is. All right, we got 120 likes. Nice, we doubled. Come on, broskies, 211. Let's get up there. Come on, let's get some likes. Hey, you can even dislike if you want. I don't care as long as you just mark something. All right, what do we got? Oh, we're just about there. You can tell, man, that thing is beautiful copper. I don't think there's anything nicer than copper when it's sanded. It just looks absolutely amazing. Like when you take those pots and you lap them, they just look, the copper is just such a beautiful color. It's kind of a pain in the ass because it basically like oxidizes after a weird period of time, which is always fun. And it's actually kind of funny. If you ever want to get it back, like the copper, once it oxidizes, you can actually use ketchup. It's kind of weird. I actually took a buddy of mine. He had this pot that he made for years and years ago. And it was all like oxidized. I was like, oh, I got to bring that thing back to a shine. So I used a shit ton of ketchup on it. It was pretty awesome. I'm in the UK. We don't have tater tots. I am never going to the UK since you guys don't have tater tots. We need to bring tater tots to UK. I was highly disappointed. All right, Code Designs. What's up, broski? Those old Zalman coolers. Oh, if you're just joining us, we're basically lapping. Oh, we're so close. There's just, you probably can't even see, like, how much we got left. It's like almost, I don't know. It's probably like that much left in there. So let me just do this, and then we're going to switch over from 400 grit to 800 grit. We're almost there. This way. Just ordered 400 and some 800 sand. Awesome, broski. Who moves the camera, broski? It's pretty funny. 5.2. 64 threads on screen. I want 128 threads on screen. 5 minutes. Yeah, you just lap it again for 5 minutes. Hey, it's kind of boring, but this is what you do. Or I could have made one of you guys do it too. But it's more fun for me to do it and show you guys. That way you have the pro tip on what's going on. All right, I think we're just about there, and we're gonna switch over. We gave you the Beatles and all. I'm just kidding. I love you guys, UKs. Guys, you guys are cool. I just can't believe you don't got tater tots. Like, I feel like we need to start a revolution of tater tots. How much more performance do you get by lapping it? Well, that's what we're gonna find out. So, so this is my 9900K, and this is the 9900KS. I don't want to drop them or mix them. So that 9900K would only do 5.2 R15 on a normal water cooler, and that was at I don't remember the voltage. I think it was around 1.3. When I went and basically lapped it, we went to 5.3 at 1.29. So I gained basically 100 megahertz being able to run just by lapping it. So that's pretty intense, but it also depends on how bad your IHS is. So if you have a lot of issues where the temps just seem like off, by lapping it, you'll probably gain a decent amount of performance because either something's not flat, your cooler's not flat, or your CPU is just really warped at the top. What is your favorite lap music? That's funny. You can go get a lap dance, right? Huh? No, I like all types of music, to be honest. I don't hate really on anything. Just maybe old country. Like, I like new country. I like metal. I prefer metal, especially when I used to work out like all the time. I basically, there's nothing wrong with getting some crazy music going. I need to get back onto getting some music during the streams. All right, so look at that. We're all copper. So what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna switch. What I'll do is I'm gonna actually take a paper towel, and I want to clean it off a little bit because there's a lot of like little, I don't know, copper stuff all around. So we're just gonna clean it up a little bit, just spray it a little bit. You can actually see, it's kind of funny how much copper, like how much stuff comes off of it. So we're just gonna spray it a little bit, get it a little wet. All right. But yeah, now you might not gain the same that I'm getting. So obviously there's a disclaimer with that. Also, if you mess up your chip, that's your damn fault, not mine. Let's see. Look at that. That's a lot of copper. So you want to be careful. You don't want to drop it. You don't want to do anything stupid. So just make sure you don't slack too much, if you know what I'm saying. All right, so now we're on 800. If you notice here, so this is basically 3M Auto. Wet, dry, sandpaper. You could do either one. I just don't really like to get it too wet. Says Joe, let me know if you want to collaborate for some TRX40 stuff. Well, yeah, we could always figure out something. Try to hit me up, and I just get so busy sometimes that hard for me to do a lot of stuff, but I'll do the best I can. I don't mind. I just love the bench. And now it's holiday season, so we're going to be streaming a lot more. And then I'm going to be doing some videos here and there on the side. Start doing some cool scooter videos. Do some skateboard videos. All sorts of good stuff. Because, I mean, who doesn't want to see a 300-pound man on an electric skateboard doing 30 miles an hour? Come on. Christoph, for some hot sauce with your favorite tots. Thanks you, brother. Gotta love hot sauce, too, man. Audio is a lot better this stream. Yeah, I know. Dude, I had to... Dude... I can't tell you how many hours I spent this week just messing with audio. Like, I found out, I learned actually a bunch of different things. It was actually, I use this, you'll see right here, this is the Atomos Ninja 5. These things are epic. Basically, like, for videos and stuff, you can put LUTs on them and do all sorts of stuff. And it records to an SSD instead of using, like, the normal SD cards. And what's cool about that is I can just plug it in the computer and edit, and it's raw data. It's not like a compressed video. So I was using that, and what happened, I guess there's some weird issue with it where you can plug an HDMI into that recorder and have come out, and there was just such a problem with the audio. Like, I couldn't get the audio in, or it was basically cutting in and out, but I didn't realize it until, like, you really thoroughly checked. So, but anyways. So do you do 400, 400, 800, 1000? Yeah, pretty much. That's exactly what it is. You'll see when you look at it, like, how good it is. So we're at 152 likes. Come on, slackers. You got 218 people on right now, and we only got 152 likes. Like it, dislike, do whatever. Whatever you're into. Come on, slackers. So if you're just joining, we've already lapped this so far. We took the nickel-plated coating off down to the copper with 2 sheets of 400 grit sandpaper, basically going in a figure 8. And basically now we're on 800 grit. So we're going to do 1 sheet of 800 grit, and then we're going to do 1,000. So you'll see that I'm doing a figure 8 motion. And the whole point of this is to get it extremely flat, so that way we don't have any more paste issues. Like the first stream, I started noticing how I was losing, we're having some issues, and a lot of the times that could be from a non-flat IHS. You'd be really surprised. If you've been paying attention, you could tell like the middle of this CPU was basically like, I don't know, sunken down so much compared to the other one, or compared to the outside, that it was kind of ridiculous. So I'm expecting some decent performance gains. I'll take another free 50 to 60 megahertz. Let's see, 2 to 3 like ratio is really, really good. Well, we want that like ratio because that way we can get the streams out there more. The more people we have on streams, the more fun we can have, because then I can do these more often, you know what I'm saying? Because I love doing this stuff for you guys. The whole goal is share the knowledge, do some crazy overclocking. We like to overclock things. And not just PC stuff, everything tech. That's what we mean by professional overclocker. I overclock everything. My truck, my motorcycle, boat, whatever it is. Why are you going in dry? You guys are killing me. Oh, someone called me. But anyways. See, if you want, you can actually use the CRC and go over it too. But it doesn't stay wet too long. Now you say 1,000. Did you order for 400, 800, and now? That's funny. Now, we don't have to go for perfect. The whole thing is not trying to get a whole mirror. Can you overclock your doorbell? I'm sure we can figure out a way to overclock it. Do you lap your pots before you bench? Actually, I lap all my pots. Yeah, you'll see. I don't know if it's going to get harder to see because it's going to be so shiny, but it's starting to get more smooth, which is cool. So we're just going to keep on doing it. Keep on sanding. Keep on sanding. What is it? Please do it to lid 3900 if possible. Direct eye. Yeah, I want to kind of play with that. Did you overclock your smartphone? Yeah, well, the problem is if you use an iPhone, you can't really overclock. I mean, you could jailbreak it and stuff, but I don't know. I just don't see any necessary thing to do on a phone. Phones, I mean, what are you going to do? Try to, like, overclock it to get gaming performance? I don't know. Phones are kind of lame that way. That's why I'm more into PCs and stuff like that. Even laptops are pretty much you know what I'm saying. Yeah, see, this is how we got the guns, man. This is how we got the guns. Get good forearms just by doing this all the time. Overlapping the sandpapers. Yeah, it's fine. You'd be surprised. It's extremely flat underneath. Anyway. I mean, if you want to be anal about it, you can basically, you don't have to do the same thing. More or less, the most important part is the figure 8 motion. And then switching it up, because that evens out the whole thing. It's kind of like, you ever see on a car how you rotate the tires after a period of time because they're burning one way? Then you can do the other. Overclock doorbell equals air horn. Exactly, that's a good one. That's amazing. Oh, smartphone has benchmarks as well. Yeah, I know. It's just I'd rather not take my phone because if I kill it, then I need to talk to somebody, then I'm pretty much screwed. So that may be some fun. If you guys are interested in overclocking phones, I could work on something like that in the future. I'm sure we'll do a bunch of different stuff in the future. I mean, we're all about overclocking everything. I'll end up doing videos on overclocking my golf cart. I mean, that's what's fun. Overclock a skateboard, overclock anything. I'm the type of guy that's basically all my life. I've always wanted like cool things, but I've always wanted my stuff different from other people's. You know, like it's one thing like when you buy a car, say you buy like a Ford truck, right? I don't want to have the same truck as everybody else. I like to personalize. I like to overclock it a little bit. I like to have my own version. That's just basically what I do. I've done it with pretty much everything. All my motorcycles, pretty much any car that I've owned. When the scratch pattern is completely even. It's kind of cool, like, you can see the figure 8 in the video better than I can actually see it, like, when I'm looking down on it. It's pretty funny. All right, so I think that one's pretty good for 800. You could tell, like, it's getting pretty shiny right now. Almost too shiny in a way. You could probably get away with just doing it now. And it's pretty much flat. So we're gonna take some CRC, spray it a little bit. And now we're gonna switch to, put this over here. The 1000. Where is the 1000? I got so much sandpaper here, it's ridiculous. This all comes from being like, oh, I don't remember if I have sandpaper. And then I go buy a bunch of packs of it. And then all of a sudden I find all the packs that I bought last time that I said I had no. It's kind of funny. But I seem to do that a lot though. All right, so we got 1K. Overclock your girlfriend with Red Bull and vodka. Right? You can always get enhancements. Oh, let me see. So, where we're at? About 6:30. Not so shabby. Not too bad. All right. So now we're switching over. So we went from 400 grit, another sheet of 400 grit, and then we went to 800 grit for one sheet, and now we're gonna do 1,000 for one. Now, I think someone was asking me, do I lap all my pots? I even lap my GPU pots. I mean, you gotta lap them. Because here's the thing, you can lap your CPU all you want, but if your cooler's not flat, then what the hell is the point? It's not gonna do you anything. So you gotta really do both of them. Put an electric fork truck motor in your golf cart with a small gear. I was almost thinking like you get like a Hayabusa motor. You ever see those on the golf carts, bro? They're scary fast. To be honest, so on my old golf cart, right? I ended up souping it up. I had it up to like, it would do like 28 miles an hour. It's a 48 volt. I mean, dude, it was pretty badass. That, to be honest, you really shouldn't go faster than 27, even 25 on a golf cart, dude. It starts getting so sketchy. Like, literally, you got to hold on to the steering wheel because as soon as it like moves, like it could just go, just fly out. I've heard people crashing. I mean, I haven't personally crashed, unlike the skateboard. But yeah, so we're on 1,000 grit now. We're just making it, we're basically polishing it at this point. Do the same figure 8 movement. Pretty easy to do. I think it's looking pretty beautiful. Pair those dead papers up. It doesn't matter at this point. Just keep on going. It's such a small grit that it's not really going to make too much of a difference. I saw a smart car with a Hayabusa. I've seen those videos too, man. It makes me jealous because I would totally drive one. All right. Oh, it's getting there pretty. It's a little, you'll see some scratches on it, but that's okay. That's the scuff that I want to keep. Like I said before, is that like, if you ever see anybody who paints cars, and then what they'll do is they'll primer the car, and then they'll sand it, and then they'll paint, and then they'll sand again. So that's kind of what we want to do, because we want the paste to adhere better to the CPU. That's the whole point. Right? I mean, it's getting quite pretty. It's shiny. I can see my pretty beard in it. Kind of amazing. I was born pre-overclocked. Me too. Do you realize I came out of the womb with a beard? Just kidding. Can you imagine that? You suck, Joe. You suck. Alrighty. So we're getting there. We're pretty much almost done, I think. And then what we can do is just pop it on and see how well it does. I'm pretty much excited to see. Is direct dye Ln2 a thing? That's actually a really good question. The problem with... Actually, let's see how good this is. Yeah, we'll go a little bit more. Yeah, the problem is when you actually go to the direct dye, the dye is very, very, we call it sensitive. So you got to be careful with the direct dye. Now, a lot of people, there's a couple guys that have actually made special pots. So basically, they'll have like a hole down, and then they have the pot that goes in. And trying to get it right, it can be a little bit of an art to try to get it down perfectly. But it's kind of dangerous. I know I've tried on, what was it, not a 7980 XE. I used devours direct dye, and I ended up killing the CPU. It's almost like it can't handle it as much as it does with it. Like, it's just not perfect. So a lot of the times I'd like to keep it just soldered and just go. I think what we're going to do a stream is when I delete this and basically go through and pull the solder off. I want to get a couple Ln2 results in first before I do that. I want to see, because I've heard a bunch of people say that it's actually worse under Ln2 if you delete it. And I haven't really got to prove that yet. So Joe knows about direct dye and killing CPUs. Well, the crazy part is about, people would think, oh, you could just put a pot on the deleted CPU. If you look at a lot of the sockets are basically have lifted edges. So when you're trying to stick the pot on top of the CPU, it's actually not even getting to the CPU. It's basically sitting on the plastic around in the slot. So you have to be very careful and have the right pieces. And the sockets can change depending on who's the manufacturer of the board, right? So one might use a low socket and the other one might use like Foxconn, stuff like that. So, and there's different, seems like there's different versions. So, all right, I think we're getting down. I don't know, it's pretty, what do you guys think? That's pretty good. We're gonna keep those scratches in there. If you want to get rid of the scratches and go to a mirror finish, I would say go up to a 1500 and a 2000, maybe after. I don't think it's really necessary. I mean, it does make it look 10 times better, but I'd like to have, like I said, I like to have a little bit of grit on it. That way it adheres. All right, so let's just finish it off, clean it off a little bit. It looks so pretty. All right. And there you go. So we have a lapped CPU, a 9900 KS. So now I wonder if we're gonna, how much performance we're gonna gain. That's the whole point, right? Damn lifted edges. Yeah, you'll see on the side, on the edges, it will get a little bit, but that's okay, as long as it's flat in the middle. Really, the point is to try to get it flat in the middle, because that's where all the heat's gonna be. Let's see. And then you just pick up the tape, wrap it up, and throw it out. Simple as that. Not so bad, huh? Not so bad. All right, we'll throw this out. Just give me 1 second. Can you test flatness with a ball or mercury or something? Well, you can go, I mean, I guess we could go and do something like that, but really, I don't think it's necessary. I mean, it's always nice to prove theory, but I don't think there's a point in which we really need to do that. But let's see. So, all right. Let's make sure, I think it might be a little bit dirty on the other side, so let's clean that side. That's why you gotta love CRC. CRC is amazing stuff. A bunch of the Australians and I, we used to bench together. They used to call it magic spray all the time. Because it's like magic, it cleans stuff, it's cool. Would a sharpening stone, different grades work better than sandpaper? I don't know, that's a good, I don't know, to be honest, I never tried. It doesn't mean it doesn't work. I like to try different things and basically mess around and because you never know until you try. I mean, a lot of times someone might have done it wrong, so you never know if they did something wrong, it wasn't right, you know. So really, I recommend if you guys want to try something, let me know what it's like. Whatever. Test it with a razor blade and strong light. So here's basically how I usually test, right? So we take the pot, we don't break the glass. Jake Lee, $10. Reminds me of polishing granite, just without a grinder and diamond pads. Pretty much, that's what it's like. So you'll see, like, so this is an old pot, right? I've been using this pot for a while. It's basically a kingpin cooling, what's it called? T-Rex. So this thing, I mean, this thing's a beast, but you can see, obviously, it's lapped, right? So I think Vince pre-lapped this. This is a prototype pot that was sent to me first. I probably should have just put a nice lap job on there. So, but the easiest way to tell the difference is, like, you can take your cooler, and what you do is you put it on top, right? And what you can do is you can take a light. Let's see if I can find a light. Here, let's use the phone. All right. So what you can do is you can basically shine the light around and see if there's any gaps. You can actually see like light through if you shine it behind. And when I test, I can actually see if it's flat or not, because the whole point is really the pot. So you shouldn't be able to see any light around any corner, and it should be completely flat. Yep. What can I say? Perfect lap job. Alrighty. So I guess we can get started of testing it on water first. Alright, so worth lapping a 3900X? To be honest, I haven't had the chance, but I would say hell yeah, do it. Most of the chips, just from the soldering process, from heat and mold, basically will cause a warp. So, like, this is not anything that's just Intel's fault, right? This is basically the process of soldering a CPU causes it. So, I would highly recommend trying the 30. I was going to originally do the 3900X, but I got to fix the CPU first before I do that. And I haven't got the time to do that yet. But that's what you're going to do. So, what do we got? Lap the pot. Yeah, lap the pot. The liquid nitrogen pot. See, now, the same, everything we're doing here, basically, will work also with your CPU cooler. So, you'll notice, see, like this one right here, this is an EVGA CPU block. To be honest, I probably should have sanded this too. Probably not the greatest example, but I would if I'm going for the most performance for my machine, I'll basically take this and I'll sand it too. We're not going to do that right now because it's more about the liquid nitrogen and than it is this, but that would probably give us more benefit on there, so, or water. But anyways, let's get the PC set up. We're going to go back to the trusty Apex, because the Apex has been good so far. We were doing about 6920 the last time we were playing around. Looks like we might have some gunk and stuff in here. What's nice about this CRC spray, too, is that if you could ever get any paste in the socket, just spray it out of it. That's why this stuff is so golden. You don't even have to try to fiddle with it. You can just keep on spraying and spraying and spraying, and that stuff will go away. It's kind of amazing. Like, when you first do it, you're like, oh, man, that's cool shit. So, let's see. We're going to put this in. One of the problems I used to have all the time is my hands are so damn big. And these CPUs and everything are so damn small. I've used to, like, stick it in here. I've dropped the CPU on the pins before. And it's like, oh, it creates another 2-hour nightmare of trying to fix the pins because all of a sudden a memory channel goes out. Nothing worse than that. All right, overclock your desk. Well, to be honest, it's funny that you answer that, or you say overclock your desk. If you saw underneath here, like underneath here, this whole top of this desk is completely destroyed. And it's because I had one of the liquid nitrogen. Obviously, you see my liquid nitrogen containers from using them with the small containers. It fell down, and basically the whole thing cracked. So what I'm doing is I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Sons of Anarchy, stuff like that. Basically, I'm going to build a table like the Sons of Anarchy table and put it on this. So when we do videos, it's going to be like this cool monstrosity table. It's just going to be pretty dope. So the dolly is freaking everybody out. I thought it would give like a neat little I don't know, dynamic to our streams a little bit. Kind of change it up. I don't want to do things like everybody else. I want to do like innovative things, kind of change it up, make shit look cool, you know? Because that's what I'm about. All right, so we got that. We're going to need some more paste. Let's see. Yeah, we'll use some old Thermal Grizzly. Because we're going to use the good stuff on the liquid nitrogen. So yeah, this stuff seems dry. But we're going to just do some water testing right now real quick. We're not going to go to the juice yet. We got to test it. We'll see if it makes a difference for anything, right? Thanks for the reply. Watching from school. Awesome, broski. School's stay in school. To be honest, school is good. I kind of miss going to school. It was always fun. Then I got out of school, and then it was like kind of boring. Because then you gotta like get a job and like work real life, you know. Slacker life hasn't always been so cool, if you know what I'm saying. I had to do a lot of work to get to this point. All right, who is moving the camera? See, I'm overclocking my stream. I'm overclocking my camera because it's moving back and forth. Yeah, basically I have a slider that's basically all powered. So you'll see right here. This is connected to the power, so basically I can set it so it'll just run by itself. It'll go back and forth, give you a different dynamic. Oh yeah. All right, so let's pop this puppy on here. Oh, almost lost a card. Let's get this over here. Put the 1070 on there, and problem is my radiator basically started leaking, so I might have to give it a fill up. I gotta get some new water cooling gear. I'm gonna be building like this monster of a setup. We're gonna have OC or OC environment. So basically anytime I test, I can just pop it on and I don't have to worry about doing a bunch of stuff. We're not even gonna, I'm just gonna basically put it down like this. I'm not gonna screw it on or anything like that. It's pretty good. I absolutely hated school. Came back when I was much older and loved it. What slider is that, broski? I think it's called GVM slider. I don't really remember the name of it, to be honest. Like, I think there's something else with it, but I don't know. I'll look it up and I'll post it up after the stream. But I mean, it's fun. I mean, it's cheap. It's an awesome slider. If you guys are into sliders and stuff, I'll have to do something on it. That way, that's what I like to play with. But yeah, let me get this going. You guys are distracting me. Always distracting me. Right, let's put the memory in. Let's try. What's nice about the Apex is it's only got 2 slots, so you don't always have to worry about which one you're going to put it in. I mean, if you want to do overclocking, this is probably one of the best boards to have. Step is the only one of the true tech tubers that actually reply to his audience. Ask a question, get an answer. Well, that's my thing, right? If you're going to do this, why not answer people? I find that a little weird. I've gone on other people's streams and they don't like answer me, and I'm like, what's the point of streaming? I figure it's a good Q&A to see what's going on. I know I'm relatively small compared to the others, but I mean, come on. Let's see, we got that. CPU is gonna be in. If you guys haven't noticed, I actually changed up a little things like the screens over here and trying to make it easier so that way, like when we're doing streams, I can try to concentrate on everything. Because to be honest, it's not really easy to do it. I think a lot of the times people haven't just don't get how hard and tough this actually is. So when I'm doing all this and at the same time, it's kind of a pain in the ass, really. All right, we don't need that yet. Oh, let's see. Am I prior military? Actually, no. I have a lot of friends that were in the military. I was almost in the military. I was going to be a nuclear technician in the Navy, but some things just didn't work out, and to be honest, just never quite made it there. I ended up going, I was going to go into the military because I was frustrated. I worked as a tech support for when I was 18, 19 years old, and I got really frustrated with some of the people that you deal with in the environment, like a lot of people with social disorders, stuff like that. And I don't know, I got really frustrated, and I was like, I can either keep going in IT or I can go into the military. So I basically took my ASVABs, went in, decided I would do military and most likely do the nuclear program. So I qualified for it. And then it just came down to it. I think it was right before September 11th when I was going to go either back to college or go in the military. And I ended up just sticking with doing tech stuff. And it's worked out. I've been doing tech stuff for 20 years now. So it's quite crazy. Hey, Stalker, how's things? I watched this one live. What's up, Toothless? Oh, nuclear electrician in the Navy. That's pretty awesome, Gingerbeard. Ginger builds. Is that Ginger builds? I love that. Fellow Ginger. All right. Let me just get down. I got to check something on the other side. Actually, let me plug this in. Kind of a ghetto setup. I got to basically redo it. I'm waiting for... Thermaltake and I are going to do some cool stuff, so I have it all planned. It's just we haven't gotten to it yet. I've been busy with other work and stuff, so we're getting there. Yeah, surely and steadily. Right, that doesn't look good. Oh, help if it was plugged in. Famous tech support answer. Did you plug it in? I forgot I moved everything over. Let's see, get all the air of the system. And we gotta put fluid in. All right, I have a ghetto set up right now. Basically, my radiator leaks, so I have it in a bucket, so it will leak out over a period of time. It's kind of annoying, but what happens when you break something. And you guys know by now, I always break everything. It's kind of fun. Oh, let's see. I know a feeling Joe would have a hard time not trying to push the big red button. What? Right? Let's see. Joe would overclock the big red button. Isn't that the truth? Yes, there's no screws needed. Well, if you noticed, I do an X, right? So what that does is it actually suctions the cooler onto the CPU. So you'd be surprised, basically, like I can't just pull it off. It's suctioned on. It basically pushes the air out and it will actually bond better with the CPU. That's why I do the X. I've tested it many times. Oh, the water block did not move. You guys suck. All right, so let's get into it. Let's see. I don't know if I ever put Ln2 voltages back off. So let's go take Ln2 mode off, because otherwise, if you don't do Ln2 mode off, you're going to be running higher voltages, so the temperature's going to suck. So let's see. We're going to go stock voltages. Helps if I turn on. It's not plugged in. All right, so we got to plug this in now. There we go. All right. See, pretty little lights lighting up. Actually, yeah, we don't plug that in yet. Make sure everything's good. All right, we're gonna switch views real quick. So I know you love seeing my pretty face, but that's not gonna be the main screen. All right. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go into the BIOS. It will pop up in a little bit. There we go. Popped right up. New CPU installed, F1. So what I'm gonna do right away is basically just set. I think we have everything pretty much going on the other one. So it's nice right there. I think everything's locked to about, actually I don't know if it's, I think it reset right now. But we're at 20, you see the temperature, it's at 25°C. That's actually really good. Yeah, Ln2 mode is off. One way to tell that Ln2 mode is off is if you go into the main screen. You'll see right there, basically look at the Ln2 mode. See how it says disabled? That's how you do it. So basically when I switch that, when we go back in, when we start putting on liquid nitrogen, you'll basically see that it shows Ln2 enabled. Now, you gotta be careful. When you have Ln2 enabled on air and water, all the voltages are higher up. So you're gonna run much hotter, so you gotta be careful. Let's see, so we're gonna go over, let's see, did I save? I think I saved, yeah, membase 3 Ln2. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna go to, let's see, maybe membase 3. Actually, maybe we probably should go base. Because if we do base, that's when we didn't have memory, so then we can see the greatest effect. It's not really about score, it's about how many megahertz we can get out of it. So I'm just gonna load from profile 1, hit F10. I usually take the SATA cable out that way because it goes right directly into the BIOS. So we're gonna plug it in now, because if you don't plug it in sooner or later, it's just gonna go right back into the BIOS. So I'm gonna hit enter. Yep, so it should be, I don't know why it's frozen, but. All right, let's see. Questions. I need another overclocking rig. My motherboard was, see, that's the thing. You should never skimp on the motherboard. Ever. Ever. Skimp on the motherboard. That's what you need. You can have the shittiest chip, and you can make that chip better by getting a good motherboard. Because then you can overclock your chip. I mean, it depends on the chips, obviously, right? But you want to have good motherboard. A good mother. All right, gonna hit that bed, switch into the phone. No problem, Eskimo. His beard comes pre-OC'd. Like I said, I came out of the womb like this. Look at the water lines. Is that air in the water? Yeah, it's because there was air in the line. There's a leak in my rad. So basically, it's a pain in the ass. Yeah, AMD does have less. It sucks, but what are you going to do? Oh, I would like to see a RAM overclocking walkthrough. Wouldn't we all? So here's the plan. So we're not going to do it this time. We're going to run out of time. What we're going to do is I have a couple memory vendors on board. So Thermaltake sent me a couple different module kits. G-Skill sending me a couple kits. I'm going to try to work out a couple different vendors. That way we can all I'll show you how to overclock them. Now, certain vendors I'm not used to, so I'll just show you how I go through and basically do stuff. So yes, we are going to do streams, and yes, we're going to do it on memory clocking. So stay tuned for that. I don't know, next week we're going to try to do a bunch of different stuff. So skipping on a MOBO is like skipping leg day. For real. You ever see those guys that are like jacked, and then like you look at their legs and they're like this big? Dude, just work out on leg day. I have nice calves, bro. I don't have that issue, but it is kind of funny when you see it. Not gonna lie. All right, so let's see what this baby could do. Let's check out core temp. We're running about 30C. Let's make sure that it's on there. So I'll hold it down a little bit, make sure. Well, we're idling around 30, which is good. Should be fine. Now what we'll do is we're gonna check CPU Z. I don't know if it's on 45. Yeah, we're all set to 4.5 right now. Let me just double check the voltages. So we're at 1.2. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go up to 1.26. That was what we were running basically 5.3 at. I mean, this is a pretty nice chip to say the least. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set it to 1.26. We don't have any gram clocks, so we're not really worried about the score. So we're really worried about like how much megahertz that we can actually get. So, the other thing is too, like for memory overclocking, you want a good board. Like you're not gonna have a crappy board and try to think you're gonna actually get anywhere with overclocking. So it's a lot about the board. Memory vendor. I mean, it's just how it works. My HW good motherboard took me from 49th on HWBot to 2nd on HWBot for my hardware. That's why I benched this board. It's very simple to work with. It's quite easy. It's just a great all-around board. I mean, it just sucks that it's harder to get and a little bit more expensive, but that's just how it is, man. You gotta pay to play, if you know what I'm saying. Don't skip leg day. That's awesome. TT RAM kits, is that a thing? That is true. So I'm gonna try to work with Thermaltake to see if they can get some good. I feel like for the price that you just can't rule them out. It's always nice to have some competitiveness, if you know what I'm saying. Especially on the AMD side. We're going to have to do memory streams we're going to do Intel first, and then we're going to have to basically do some AMD stuff. I just got to fix my chip first. So I got to do that video, if you know what I'm saying. That's right. If you don't, that's the other thing too. So I haven't benched Hynix memory in forever, because obviously many people know that I've benched for G-Skill for years now. But basically, I've had issues where I'm just used to Samsung, so now you got to get used to Hynix. So just how it is. All right, so we're at 1.26. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to jump up to 5 gigahertz. This is just like what I did before. Same exact stuff. We're just going to run R15. Not going to do any tweaks or anything special. The whole goal of this is just to basically see what megahertz we can run. So I set the same voltage. So basically this chip ran before. If you look at the older streams, basically I ran the same amount. So basically I ran 1.26 for 5.3. Right now we're doing 1.26 at basically 5.2. All right. So we hit a pretty high on some. It's probably because I'm not tightening it down. I don't want to tighten it down because it's a pain in the ass, to be honest. All right, so that ran, so we're gonna bump it up again. Just gonna test it a little bit. So let's go from 5 gig. Now we're gonna do 5.1. You broke a 30, fix the chip. No, I broke my 3900X. So I was on a Gamers Nexus stream and I basically was using the CRC, and Steve bought the different type of CRC. So when I went to hit it, it basically just shot out of my hand and it basically fell on concrete. So basically it bent all the pins, and they weren't really repairable, so I'm gonna have to solder on new pins on the 3900. Yeah, it's just what it happens. All right, so we basically just ran, what was that, 5.1? So let's jump up to 5.2. There we go. LLC is set to 7, so it's one lower under. Actually, yeah, this one should be 7 because you have 8 as max. I think we can get to 7.3 on Ln2, on water 6-ish. I'm not so sure about that, broski. That 3700X is up there. I can see you around G-Skill OC World Cup. Can't hide that beard in the picture. Well, yeah, I'm actually a judge for that. So I basically help create all the rules. We bin all the memory, and then we judge the contest. So that's pretty much. I haven't. To be honest, I kind of want to join in and try to win that 10 grand, but it's more fun to just make sure that we put on a good contest for them. I'll do some cool stuff this time. Can you record soldering pins? Well, that's the whole goal. The whole goal is to actually put that on video. It's just I've had some issues of trying to get the good video on it. So I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to record it is the key. So we ran. So now we're at 5.2 easily. We maxed out at about 94C. We might be just out of thermal room. So I don't think, we might not gain anything. I think we'll probably see a bigger gap on the liquid nitrogen than we are on air. Can you record solder? Yes, soldered pins would make a very good video. Yeah, it's not so much like, it's just how to record it. So I ended up getting a, I don't know. Oh, okay, it failed. Try again. I wonder if I have some air leaks. But, sometimes we'll fail in between. It's not the best setup. I really should have these down, but I don't want. I just want to rip it off and put an Ln2 pod on it. You know what I'm saying? It's actually a 480 rad. The 480 rad. It's an actually EK 480 rad, but it's broken. So basically, there's a leak on one of the things. So I ended up breaking it. All right. So we're gonna go. I'm just gonna go right to 5.3, 1.26. And R15. This pace could be shit too. I don't know. Let's see. Trying to put my hand on it a little bit. You really should run it without the cooling solution on, so basically it runs better, but what are you gonna do? Says, quick question, bro. Prime 95, my temps pushed near 99. Did it fail again? I'm really thinking it's probably this paste. It was kind of hard when I was going out. JP weld it. Actually, that's not a bad idea. The problem is on the EK radiators, it's like underneath, so I have to rip it all apart and do it. I just haven't done it. No, I already have. I have the cam set up, to be honest, for that stuff. It's just recording it and how I want it to look, and I just haven't. I'm not happy with it yet, so I'll work on it. Just do it Ln2 all the way. Well, no, I want to run this one time. I wonder if I don't have my LLC set properly. So let's do 1.3. I have a feeling the LLC is not what I think it is. Remember, I used base 1 instead of using the other one. So let's see, R15, 5.3. That should be good. All right, let's give it a little chill time. Yeah, I think the paste is a little shit on this one, so. We tried. Egg yolk. Let's see. I'm disappointed that it's not running. It should run. Yeah, but this is at 1.3. I don't like that. So we're going to end up going it down. Nice. So that ran. I think my LLC is not what I think it is. Because I ran this like several times. I even ran it on the stream and then before the stream. So it's kind of interesting that it's not working now. So I think that My LLC is not the same. Some beer money for the drunk cameraman. Well, it's the most expensive piece of hardware you ever destroyed. Yeah, something's weird. I'm gonna check that LLC before I do anything. Yeah, so the most expensive thing that I ever killed was a Titan X Pascal. I basically blew it up on accident. So I had done. So basically, it was a $1,300 card. Wow, the temps are really shitty, actually. Well, let me check something here. I don't remember what I put for this, so I'm gonna have to go through. $1.2. All right, let's see the power. We'll try level 8. Let's see what it does. Oh shit! Gotta put this thing on. All right, so some beer money for the drunk cameraman. What's the most? Yeah, so basically Titan X Pascal. So what I did is on the Titan X Pascal, I ended up doing what's called a power card. So I put an EVGA power card on it, and basically what it did is I basically put my own power to control everything. So I ended up doing it on the memory side, so that way I could control the voltage for memory, and then I also did it for the GPU. That all worked, but then what happened is when I went to put it on cold, it had a -50 cold bug. I was so pissed. So from now on, I always test it on liquid nitrogen before I do some type of power card mod, right? So that card was basically useless and had 2 E-powers soldered to it to control all the power. So I was kind of pissed. So I bought another Titan XP, and these I think were going for like $1,200, $1,300. I ended up just not doing E-power. I ended up basically going. Yeah, I really think it's the paste underneath here, to be honest, because I probably should have used a different paste, because that stuff's kind of old. So basically what I did is I put another Titan X XP, and I ended up modding it, but I didn't do power cards. So I basically had to do all the mods to full power, go through, and then what happened was one of the you'll see a variable resistor. You like usually hit a little like screwdriver to turn it and stuff. Well, what happened is it broke off and kind of swung down, and it basically shorted the hell out of the. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. So I've done it a bunch of KPs too. Like 10 over at EVGA kind of hates me because I've killed a bunch of stuff. It's kind of funny. So, but anyways, yep. So let's just try one more time. I think this should work. I think the paste is shit, to be honest. The type of paste that I have in there. So. We're going to have to revisit this part. 1.26. I just want to do one more run, and then we're just going to switch over to Ln2, because really what we care is about pushing on Ln2, and we're kind of running out of time. So we have about 45 minutes. I think that should be just enough time to do some liquid nitrogen and finish off this stream. So let's go, and let's try one more time with this before we get into Ln2. So hopefully this works. I have a feeling that paste just sucks. So, yeah. You know, I always like to validate my stuff, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to replace the paste. So let's see how crappy this thing was. There. Oh yeah, that's exactly what it was. You can tell by the paste, it's too hard. So over on the side, it's not doing well. So what we're going to have to do is I'll have to clean it off. We're going to try another paste. I hate doing stuff and not doing it fully and making sure that it's good. So it looks like this paste has gotten too hard. And it's just not creating a good barrier. Or not barrier, but it's not creating a good contact. So what we're going to do is we're going to use some new paste. I hate using I hate using new paste because I go through so much paste. I mean, it's kind of nice that Thermal Grizzly likes to sponsor, and then Kingpin likes to sponsor too, but paste, I go through so much of it. It's kind of ridiculous. And like the bigger chips, like the 18 cores and stuff like that, man, like just, it's too much paste. Let's see, let me grab some. Just give me a sec. Let's grab a new batch. Cryonaut. Full screen, please. Oh, let's get back there. I always forget. Sorry about that, broskies. All right, so we're gonna basically put a new cryonaut, and I'm gonna keep them separated. Can never be too hard. All right, so, all right. Put this paste on again. Yeah, see this stuff, you can almost tell the difference. The other stuff was like hard to get out. It like wouldn't go on the CPU properly. Like it kind of didn't stick to the CPU. Remember, put it back in the package, otherwise it will dry out. So we're gonna keep this one separated from, because I know the other one's good on Ln2. We're gonna use that. Let's pop this back on. Now you can tell like paste makes a huge difference. That's why you almost gotta rule out, like sometimes it happens to every paste. They tend to dry. I don't know what it is. Sometimes there's bad batches, different chemicals. It's I don't know. It's weird. So we're gonna just shake it around a little bit, jiggle it just a little bit. If you know what I'm saying. All right. So now we got that. All right. So let's power on, and boom. So hopefully this makes a difference. We should. I'm gonna set that LLC back. So you're the best. You're welcome. All right. You can never be too hard. I plugged a brand new GPU into my motherboard while it was on and blew it up. That sucks. And then you gotta try to warranty that. That's the problem. I've had to RMA things over the years. Not to say I'm proud of it, but it happens. The point is, on every failure that you ever have in life, you come back and learn something from it. That's the whole key, if you know what I'm saying. All right, let's see. So does anybody think we're gonna get 5.3 now? I once fried an entire system when I dropped a pint of mug of tea into the top air intake. Not a great day. That's the type of stuff that's happened to me in life. Like the dumbest thing that could happen usually happens. So here, let's check cord. Let's switch over back to the view. Oh, right there. So let's switch back to the view. Let's see the temperature difference. So it seems to be similar, around the same. Let's do a run at 5 gig and see if we can. I didn't take a screenshot of the last 5 gig, but we're just gonna jump up to 5 gig. We'll do 1.26 because that's supposed to work. All right, we're getting there. All right, we're just gonna do run at 5 gigs, see what the temperatures were. We got 82, 83, 86 on one. It seems a little bit better. I need to keep it on like that. Five on water. Have faith. 5.3. Gotta learn making mistakes. That is so true. Dude, everybody messes up. If they tell you people don't mess up, they're just ego, man. Everybody in their life has messed up on anything. That's called being a human, if you know what I'm saying. It's just what it is. Should never be embarrassed about failing on stuff. Because I tell you right now, just from overclocking, I've had a lot of failures, but I've had a lot of successes too. But I wouldn't have had those successes if I didn't fail. That's why you gotta overclock your life, my friends. Overclock your life. I learned just fine without killing whole systems. Hey man, sometimes it's just bad luck, dude. Can't be too hard on people. Oh, we just hit 200 likes. Thank you, broskies. Much, much appreciated. BSD at 5.2999. No faith, slacker. All right, let's see. So let's go. That was 5.1. Let's go 5.2. All right, so we're getting there. Look at that. Bad paste. Do you use it in an AFX offset? No, because R15 doesn't use AFX. My whole life is messed up. Everything I touch, it magically breaks. Welcome to my life, too. You guys got to understand, I'm about 290 pounds, about 6'2", 6'3". Dude, like, I break things just stepping on them, you know? I just kill shit. Just kind of how I've always been. It's kind of funny. Overclocking my dab rig. All right, so we did 5.2. The max temps we hit was 89C on one of the cores. Overall, it's pretty good. I think I think paste was the problem. So if you have old paste, you don't keep it in the whatever the hell you call that baggie. You can just keep it in the baggie. All right, so we're gonna go 5.3, 1.26. Let's see if it happens again. Strange. I'm wondering if my block, if this water block is bad. Like, not bad, but you know how we're talking about flat? I'm wondering if this block is not flat. Bad paste leads to infertility. All right, so we're gonna try one more time. I think we're just gonna get to Ln2. I have a feeling now that we made the CPU so flat that we have an issue with the actual water block not being as flat. So I hate when that happens, but it does happen. We're gonna try one more time, and then we're just gonna go to Ln2. Because I literally had the same setup running. I'm wondering if there is maybe error or something going on. It's not cooling as good as it could. Actually, let me check on something. Yeah, that might be actually the issue. I think it might be leaking out more than it was last time. Oh man, my hand is killing me. But I think it's time to do some Ln2 stuff either way. Yeah, there's some air in the lines. That's probably not helping. I just need to build my overclock rig. Yeah, because there's a lot of water leaking out. I need to fix that. All right, so let's try again. Are we on the right? Yeah, we got on the right screen. So 1.26. We're gonna dump 5.3. If this doesn't work, I'll have to revisit, see what the issue is. And but I'm gonna do some liquid nitrogen. We know that the chip is perfectly flat with the pot, and that's what matters for liquid nitrogen. I'll just basically have to do that. So we're at 5.3, 1.26. This used to run, and for some reason it's not. It could be the cooling, which I suspect, but it also could be the water block not being as flat now. Come on, baby, come on, come on. No. Oh well, time to get to Ln2. All right, so let's get some Ln2 out of the way. So we got 208 likes, 223 viewers. What's up, slackers? If you're just joining us, we're basically lapping. We just lapped the CPU. We want to get more performance out of it. I think we actually gained less performance because we didn't actually lap the cooler, but we already have the pot lap, so we know that's perfectly flat. So this was kind of just to see. I'm like not hammering it down. Yeah, it was off a little bit. So I'm gonna have to play with that. I think I just need to basically bolt it down. I think it would be better that way. So, but since we're running on limited time, we're gonna go right to the liquid nitrogen because that's what it's about. We're gonna go drag race. Now, a lot of people always ask me, like, why do you do liquid nitrogen overclock? And I go, why not? I mean, it's fun. It gives me a thrill. It's fun. Let's see. I mean, why do people drag race cars? Or the adrenaline rush? It's kind of funny because most people have asked me over the years, they're like, why would you want to go that fast? Why do you want to do it? Like, why do you overclock? Well, I basically overclock because it gives me the same adrenaline rush that it is in a car doing 170, 180 miles an hour. So I've been almost 200 miles an hour before in a car. I used to have a GTR that had like 800 horsepower. This was like maybe like 8 years ago. And I topped out at 198 miles an hour. Now that same feeling I get when I bench on liquid nitrogen. It gives me that same like blood flowing type thing. And that's why I do it. So I think somebody asked me what lapping is. So lapping is basically sanding the IHS on the CPU and also lapping on the cooler. So the next thing I'm gonna have to lap this, to be honest. I think this thing's off, most likely. I haven't touched it. It's basically still got all the nickel plating on it. So, but yeah, lapping is just sanding it to make it flat. Because we want it flat, we want them to match up as much as possible. Try to make sure that's clean. Give it a little spray. It's dirty. I need new paper towels. I go through so many paper towels, it's a little ridiculous. I think Ln2 isn't that expensive at all. Well, the problem is you have to have doers. So like I have the 30 liter doers. You see me pour them in. I get 180 liters. So to show how expensive those are, basically, what is it? It would cost me almost $60 to fill one of those 30 liters. And then it'd take me a lot of time to do it. That's why I get it delivered in 180 liters now. And I basically end up just pouring it into the 30 liters. But so if I got 2 or 3 of those, it was actually pretty expensive compared to getting 1 tank. So now it cost me $200 delivered. And then I just pour it into my own. And then I think it costs about $60 a month to rent the tank. Because I always basically have a tank of liquid nitrogen in my garage. So there's a cool company by us. Like most companies won't do that. They won't deliver residential. But this company does. And they're awesome. I love them. They're cool. But again, most of it's hard to find companies like that, to be honest. They just happen to be a really cool company, and I've used them for years. So, all right. So, was this one? Yeah. This was the Ln2 one. Try not to mix them up. Is it nitrogen what makes 70% of off the atmosphere? Yeah, no, nitrogen, you really it freezes shit. That's the bad part. What did you miss finding grades of paper? I have no idea what the hell he said. So what we have done, we basically lapped a CPU with 400 grit. We used 2 pieces of 400 grit, and then we used 800 grit, and then we used 1,000 grit. So we're now at a copper finish. You're probably just gonna have to rewatch the stream. It's much easier to explain then. Let me get this. Oh, I need all my little paper towels. All right, we're gonna load the pot on. Time to get going. We want to do some liquid nitrogen stuff. Let's get that on there. Give it a little squish. Now we're using the same paste as we did the other times we were benching in the other 2 streams. I try not to, once I find a good batch, I try to keep using that only so that way, because I know it works well, because you have a lot of issues. To be honest, liquid nitrogen benching is it's much harder. Imagine troubleshooting a computer with all sorts of weird issues. That's basically what benching liquid nitrogen. It's not easier. I mean, it can be easier if you have your skills down. I try not to change too much in between each one, but I mean, come on. If you get water in the socket, dude, sometimes you'll be like, why the hell is this acting like this? Like, that's when you basically just say, screw it, and break down, heat everything up, because otherwise you'll just kill stuff. So you gotta be careful. Hey, Bearded Man Supreme, how's the Master Slacker doing today? Getting good progress. Well, we just lapped the chip, and I'm kind of excited to see what's going on. We're running out of time here. I got about another half hour. We're just going to do some quick runs on Ln2. I'm going to try to make it quicker than I usually do. And we're just going to kind of go for the glory, if you know what I'm saying. Now, this is pod racing. Just give her 6-8 right away. Well, I think we're going to do that, to be honest. Just going to make sure it's good. Got to insulate a little bit. We don't want to kill her stuff. We're getting there. And we're hoping that this lapping is going to give us some good results. And now I'm going to have to lap the damn water cooler. Kind of irritated me. Kind of irritating. Because I was able to run that all, like, no problem. And now I can't run it. So I have a feeling that block is not very true. And it happens. More times than others, you believe it. All right. We got a bunch of paper towels. That way, if we catch any pooling water, the pooling water you want to watch out for more than anything, because that's when shit starts to go a little nuts. So, let's see. Check out the new gloves, by the way. This is because I picked up the bike and my hand was hurting like a sun, so I ended up buying gloves. The problem is, me trying to find gloves is like damn near impossible, because my hands are too damn big. Still can't hate sand. He surfs, right? No, I don't really surf. The Gulf of Mexico really doesn't have anything. I would surf, but we don't have waves here. Kind of sucks. If we had waves here, I would totally surf. So right now, I just basically sidewalk surf. Because I ride the electric skateboard all the time. I do a lot of boating and shit, though. Let's see. It's kind of funny, like in the Gulf, like there's no waves. It's kind of funny. All right, so we got 217 likes. That's what's up, my broskies. I'm glad you're liking the stream so far. We're gonna get some liquid nitrogen shit going now. We're gonna mess with the juice. We're going Team Blue Towel today because we're going Intel today. We're gonna end up, I gotta get some nice red ones so when we advance to AMD, it looks nice red. About the team. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna change over to Ln2 mode. Oh, and I need to get liquid nitrogen. So let me just try to make everything good. Get everything and see if there's a less of temp delta between the cores. Yeah, to be honest, the problem is once you start lapping, you need to make sure your cooler's lapped. This pot is definitely lapped, and if you guys were watching before, if not, like at the end of the stream when you guys want to go back to it, there's a section where I basically showed you, if you shine a light, when you put the chip on the actual pot itself and you shine a light through it, you shouldn't see any light. If you're seeing light there, that means you got to probably lap your cooler. Now, I didn't do that with this, but I did it with the pot, and the pot's more important, if you know what I'm saying. And no, I haven't broken anything yet. Why does everybody want me to break something? I mean, I could always break something with this, if you know what I'm saying. I love this thing. This is my buddy Tim sent me. Gotta love that. I need to start putting stuff up on the shelves, too. All right, let's get some juice flowing. Everybody loves juice. Pick up 30 liters. All right, we got some juice flowing, broskies. Gotta love the juice. Ah, juicy juice. All right, we got, let's see. We're almost there. We need to plug in the temp meter because we need to see the temps. Now let's see. Make sure you guys can see them. That's a hell of a glare. Again. There we go. All right, so we're gonna pull down a little bit, get it cool. Remember, since we have Ln2 mode on, we're gonna have a higher temp, so you gotta be a little careful. And now I'm gonna unplug the SSD, and we're gonna go right into it. So we're gonna go right into the BIOS. I have a profile saved last time where we're actually doing some overclocking on memory too. Just 4K, 12, 12, 12. Nothing too crazy, just nice tight 4K. I'll go into memory on another stream because it depends on the modules you have, and there's a lot of different modules out there now. So you gotta be it's kind of hard to just do like a normal stream. All right, I'm gonna switch views so that way you guys can see what I'm doing over here. There we go. Oh, look at that. Oh, I wonder can you guys hear that? It's that. Oh, the adrenaline's just coming. All right, let's go. So this is one of those things where I like to use profiles. Profiles work very well. Let's see. So we're going to go Membase 3 Ln2. That was the biggie. So we're going to load from profile 7. Right? Now, I want to get it colder, or get it cold right now, because we're going to use the Kingpin heater. I don't know if I showed you guys before. So Kingpin cooling has what's called the Kingpin Inferno, right? This is basically on the bottom. It's wedged into the board, and what it does is when I turn this on, it actually heats up the board, so it lets you bench longer. It's quite crazy how well it works, but you got to be careful what board you use it with, because some of the... Yeah. You got to be careful when you use it, because some boards, the VRMs are not good, and that will cause issues. So, like, it might cause, like, a temp protection to get off, you know? So... You want to be a little careful. So we're going to bring it down, bring the temp down a little bit. We're going to go to about -50, and that's when I turn the heater on. What I found is that if I turn the heater on before that, a lot of the times it likes to put water in the socket, and then you got all sorts of weird shit happening. And you don't want that. So what we're going to do, we're getting close. So right when we hit around -50, what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically, I guess we could plug it in now. It's about, what, -30 something? I'll give you guys all the views that I can't even see. So there we go. I'm going to have to put the heater on now. So all it is basically a PCIe power. You just plug it in. So now we're plugged in. We got the heater working. So the next thing is, so I said, I'm going to actually, let's go through some of the settings here. So now these are Ln2 settings. Do not do these on like warm, like normal water clocking, stuff like that. They just don't do it. Actually, I love Catzilla, by the way. I used to take Catzilla records all the time. But there's some cheating with that. That's one of the things why we usually try to use Benchmate, stuff like that. So we're going to go over a couple of voltages. DRAM's 1.9. I'm not going to go too much. These are 1.13. You can push these a little bit more. These are the ones for memory. DRAM, VCC, IO, and SA. PL term needs to be between 165 and 1... I want to say I had this at 1.7 last time, so we're gonna try to go right away, and then standby at 165. So those are two, these voltages, the PLL term and CPU standby, are very important when it comes to Ln2. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to bench colder. So what we want to do is there's a couple more voltages I need to set. DRAM VTT voltage is also another one for RAM overclocking. And then, yeah, that's okay. Yeah, -60 is fine. So we're going to keep it right there. DMI, I'm just going to put it about 155. But DMI, usually when the screen starts going black when you get cold, that's why we usually set DMI. You can set DMI up to maybe like 1.8, 1.9. You'd be surprised on what has to go on. Core PLL is a good starting is 2.2. You don't really want to go too much higher than that. I've seen where if I've set like, whoa, what happened there? Yeah, I've set that sometimes like, I remember I killed a board, an ASRock board set in 2.4. So you got to be a little careful with it. Where's the one? Sorry, I'm looking for one more voltage. Oh, no. PLL bandwidth. This one's a very important one, too. We're just going to basically put this on level 2. We're running Celsius. Anytime we're benching or anything, every meter is pretty much in Celsius. I don't really use Fahrenheit on there. That's just how I've been doing it. What's up, Andreas? All right, so we're finally getting cold. Now that I got these voltages set, you don't want to run these voltages any higher than -50 degrees Celsius. Otherwise, you start killing shit. Oop, gotta put SATA in. Now, it's going to take a little bit to boot because I have memory settings pretty much heating up. Or I have memories a little bit tight, so you're going to go through some extra postcodes then. So, what are we at? We're at -60. Let's just make sure everything's good to boot. And then we're going to start pushing down real cold. Because the golden part about these chips is you can bench them full pot. And what full pot means is about -196 degrees. Now, it's going to be hard to... We got to get it there first, obviously. We know this chip can do it at these certain voltages. Usually, a lot of the times, it takes a little bit of testing to find out what cold voltages you have to set. That was one of the issues that you saw on Steve's stream, where he hasn't tested too much. You have to go through and you got to really find what your chip likes, because you could take a different chip and then basically go and say, okay, well, I'm going to try Joe's voltages or try my voltages, and it might not work. It's all chip dependent. So you got to pretty much go and try to find and figure out what's going on. So we're going to start getting this colder, much colder. What are we at right now? About -85 degrees Celsius, which is pretty damn cold. You don't want to be touching it. Oh, do we have issues? Something didn't happen. That was weird. I don't know, we had a weird hiccup. I don't like seeing that. Streaming! Uh-oh, my buddy's here. gonna be like, we need to go. Ah, man, I hate that. That please wait is annoying as hell on Windows 10. I hate that they do that. It says if you get close enough to 0K, you get some Bose-Einstein state. All right, let's see if we can boot it up because we're at minus 110 degrees. All right. Let's see. Let's check out and see what the core temps are. We should be 0C if we have a good mount. Looks like that looks pretty good. So let's basically go in. We're going to start. I'm going to push it right away. We're going to go up to about, I think what we were at, 172 or 73. I can't remember last time. This is what happens. So we're going to set 172. And what I'm going to do is, what temp we're at? We're at about minus 120. Let's get it a little bit more cold. We already have the voltage set up higher. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go right up to 6 gig. Oh. We're just going to do like some quick runs. We're not going to, want to see what we can do. Let's see if we can hit that magical barrier. Right. So it looks like we're doing pretty good. No positive temps. I'm not going to run Benchmate today. We're just going to go right for it. Want to try to save time because I'm running out of time. We don't have much time, so we want to go. They're saying you don't want to touch it. I like how you almost grabbed the nuts after you saying you don't want to touch it. I know, I got to tell myself not to. All right, so we're going to run about 6 gig. We're at minus 130. I'm going to get it down to about minus 140 real quick. We'll just do an initial run, make sure everything's going good. If it's failing now, that means we have something wrong. So let's see. We're running at minus 132. Seems like we're doing pretty well. It's running at 6 gigs, so it's an easy 6 gig. Oh, look at that. Nice. So I'm going to just fill up the pot now, and we're going to go full temp pot. Full temp. All right, so we'll wait till it gets a little bit colder. We're at minus 136. This pot tends to have like a weird, I don't know, dead zone. So from like minus 136 to minus 160, you'll hear it. It starts doing some weird shit, and all of a sudden it will start going. And it will get super cold. Right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump up to 6.5. And then we're going to put this up at 6 gig. So we have, basically, we're at 6.5 gigahertz with 6 gig on cache, right? All right, slackers. A lot of likes already, man. I'm proud of you guys. Let's see if we can beat the other videos and get more likes. We're at 236. Let's see if we can push that even higher. All right, so we're at 6.5, 60. Let's go, and we're going to do a run. What temp are we at? Uh-oh. Did my temp meter go? I think it did. Uh-oh. Well, it looks like we have a problem there, broskies. I think my temp... Oh, we're good. We're still not that cold yet. Maybe not. Let me see if I can grab another meter real quick. Damn it! Sometimes what happens is basically when the batteries go, you start getting some funky things with the temp meters. And to be honest, when this happens, it sucks because you need to see temps. It looks like the meter, I'm going to have to take it apart, and I don't want to take it apart, to be honest. We're out. No, we have an issue. I basically have to take it apart and put it back together, but I'm not going to do it. We're just going to go blind. The thing is, I don't want to reboot anyway, so we're just going to basically push it. Oh, you hear that? You gotta love it. All right, so we're at 6.5, 6 gig. What we're gonna do is I'm gonna push it up to 6.7. See what it does. You're gonna hear it. Hear it boiling? Ho, 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 ho. Yeah, the real thing is why you want to see. So, like, if we were to fail in the boot and it basically we have to do a cold boot. I'm gonna have to heat it up. So that's why you need the temperature, because I'd have to heat it up to minus 30. But technically I don't really need it. I pretty much know by the pot being filled up that it's minus 196 degrees. So we're just going to keep at it. So we're at 6.7. Let's go to 6.8. Let's see what 6.8 does. You can hear the boiling on the pot. That's how you know it's basically getting good contact with it, because it's basically combating that heat and just making it colder and colder. It's awesome. Look at that. So 2964. So we just did 6.8 gigahertz with 60. Let's go up to 6.9. Let's see. Remember, we had some issues running about 6.9, but we were able to go to about 6920 last time. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put this over in the corner. This is a little trick with R15. If you want to learn how to do to get a little bit of a better score, if you block off the window, you can actually, if we close this out too, you can basically run it over here. You can hear it on the pot. It's so cool. Yeah, to be honest, it's the probe, the temp probe that's having the problem. Oh, we failed. What happened? I hope we don't have to reboot, because then I'm going to be pissed. Yeah, I lost CPU. Alright, so hopefully I can just reset it and it comes back up. That's usually the rough zone. Because if you can't get it up, then you got to heat it all the way up and you got to drain it out of liquid nitrogen. Kind of sucks. Let's see. Sounds like she has a mouthful of hot water, if you know what I mean. You guys kill me sometimes, man. All right, so let's see. We're getting low on Ln2. We still have enough. We're just going to top it off. All right, I think we're just going to go right for it. We're going to go back to 172. I'm going to go try 171. I want to say that the voltage wasn't that great on that. I felt like I had more issues with that. So let's go 6.7 and 60 for now. All right. All right, so we got that. So 6.7, we're going to run R15. Yeah, we're just going to go like this for normal. Let's just see if it runs. Make sure everything's good. L2 exhaust is blowing on temp meter. Perhaps move it. Nah, that's not the issue. It's basically what happens is these temp probes, the cable is kind of very, very hard to work with. And what happens is it loosens up on the actual connector that goes in. So what happens after a period of time, it just kind of pulls out and it gets loose. So you can't really do anything. Kind of sucks. So, all right, we did 6.7. Let's do 6.8. And we run again. Put some more Ln2. I'm going to have to do a refill. Let's run this first. All right, so that was successful. We're basically at 6.8. Pretty decent score. Filled up Ln2. We're going to go back to 6.9 again. It ran before. It just did hiccup somewhere. Sometimes when you're dealing with these temperatures, it's a little shitty sometimes. Because sometimes you might have another component that's getting messed up, and it could be causing issues. So you got to be kind of careful sometimes. All right, so we ran 6.9 again. We dropped like 12 points. Water cooling loop is my recommendation. Then you can add as many radiators. No, this is 6.9. So let's go. I'm going to just bump up the beat clock a little bit. We'll go up to 120, 100.2, and we'll run it again. You guys ready? Come on, baby. I forget how much megahertz. I think that's over 6.9. I think it's like 6910 or something like that. Oh, it actually was lower score. I'm wondering if I have... I wonder if I switched memory by mistake. Sometimes... So what you do is when you're actually testing in memory, you find one that's better in the first slot, then one is better in the second slot. So I might have switched those. So that's why we might be getting like a crappy score. So... Let's see. I'll reopen R15 and we're going to give it another run. Let's also see how many megahertz we're at. I know you guys want to see 7 gigahertz, so what I think I'm going to do, yeah, see, that was 6913. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bump up these volts a little bit. Because that way people don't bust my balls and say basically we didn't hit 7 gig. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you 7 gig. But we're just not going to show you R15 7 gig. So we're at 6913. So at 100.20, that's what that's going to... So let's just do this to see what it's going to take for us to get to 7 gig. So the problem is CPU-Z takes a little bit to update. So we're at 6913. That should be like, what, 6926, I think? It takes a little bit to update for some reason. Sometimes you got to close it out and open it up again. Kind of annoying, to be honest. So if we go... Did he change the BIOS to Ln2? Yep, everything's on Ln2. Come on, why is CPU so shitty today? Of course, CPU-Z is not being my friend right now. Okay, here we go. 6933. So now we're at 6933. That would be 150. So let's just check. I'm just gonna ease it up. I don't want to go too. So we're at 6950, and let's go up to 101. So we're gonna get. So that's 6970 at 101. So our goal is to try to get our R15 to see what it does. So we'll go up to 101.25. That should be around 6985. So we're almost at 7 gig. We're getting there. And then we're gonna go 6950 or 101.50, and that should be close to 7 gig. Oh, look at that, 699972, so 7 gig. Not too hard, right? And have the computer? I just turned on the attic fan and it could hold in England. So we're at 105, 101.5, and we're at 7 gig. I think what we'll do is I'll kind of keep you guys in suspense. Let's just see how far we can push it a little bit. Let's see how far we can go on Windows 10. Windows 10 is a little bit difficult. No, this is a 9900KS. This is not an 8700. I've actually lapped a couple of them. So we're at 7 gig. Actually, we're at about 740, right? 7040 right now. We'll just keep on going. We're going to have some fun with this because we're going to have to close down the stream soon. So I want to kind of get it moving a little bit, but I want to have some fun with it too. So we're at 7054. Do you think we can do like 7.1, right? I don't know. This thing looks promising. 7071. My goodness. Pretty crazy. Let's go up to 102. Like, can we hit 7.1? Getting crazy. Crazy. So 7092. So we're almost at 7.1 gigahertz. Come on, who had any doubts, huh? Well, come on, slackers. So now we're at 7.1 gigahertz. Crazy. All 8 cores, 16 threads. I don't think we can run R15, but still, it looks pretty damn cool. Just pull the Ln2. Nothing special. Oh, blind Ln2. Yes, we don't know what the temps are, because my probe, I have to basically take it apart and put it back together again before it to work again. So we're at 103B clock at 7.1 gigahertz. Let's see if we can hit 7.2, huh? What do you guys think? We're going to ease it on up. 7124. Let's go up to 103.5. Man, we're just pumping the B clock, right? So 7140. So let's go back up. Let's just keep pushing it, huh? So 103.75. Dude, 7157. Now let's see. I think you can save memory or save the CPU clocks. We're also at almost 4200 on memory too. I think it was it. Oh, I can't remember to save. Is it validate? All right. So yes, you're seeing it now. We are at 7.1516 really. So let's go up to 104 B clock. See how much it pushes it. We're getting there. I think we see 7.2 coming. Yeah, you can't run the benchmark. That's the problem. If I were to run the benchmark, it would definitely fail. R15, the world record is under 7 gig. It's like 6975 or something like that. So I don't know. That's kind of what I wanted to see, is how far I couldn't push B-clock, because we're at 7.19, so we're almost at 7.2. So let's go up again. I want to see how much B-clock I can set. I know that this memory is actually really cool. Oh, there we go. It filled. All right, let's see if we can boot up. I'm gonna try to set it back at 6.9 real quick, since it's actually coming back. I want to see what R15 does. So we're gonna do some quick runs at R15 at 6.9 and see what it does. So we're just booting up right now. We almost did about 7.2. I think the B-clock limit there is kind of probably the issue, because we really pushed B-clock out pretty hard. Let's see. So let's go. We'll go up one. Let's do 175. I want to see if 175 even works. It might generate too much heat to be able to run. R15 pushes 100% on the CPU, so kind of a pain. Okay, we're at 6.9 already. I'm gonna bump this up to 6 gig, and we're gonna do a run at R15. So let's see if we can get this going. Make sure we have Ln2 in the pot. And we're gonna do a run. So we're at 6.9 R15. You can even do the Ln2 is just pouring because it's trying to combat that heat. CPU-Z is not really my thing. I'm more into no, I think we might have had a crack or something, because it's not even running R15 now. So let's see. We got to reboot again. We'll try to play a little bit. Yes, it will not run Crisis. I can't believe anybody still uses that term. It's kind of funny, to be honest. Damn, we're at 262 likes. I am so proud of you slackers. I love it. All right, we're going to try to do another 6. I'm going to do a 6.5 run first. I think we had too much voltage. For some reason with R15, if you push too much voltage, it overheats. So let's go. I'm going to go back to like 1.7. 1.7 should be plenty enough voltage for there. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to go to 6.5 and then run 6.5, 60. All right, so we should be at 6.5, 60, and then we're going to run R15. And we're going to do a run. You guys ready? Oh, yeah. Oh, you can hear the liquid nitrogen. Love that sound. Absolutely love it. At 7.2, I could run Minecraft, to be honest. All right, we're going to do another run right away. Seems like the mount is pretty stellar. No, 1.8 is a little bit too much. I could do 1.7 and it should be fine at 6.9. If you go too much on voltage, R15 can be a little weird on that. If you go too high, it could cause issues. All right, so we're at 6.5. I'm going to bump up to 6.7. We're going to run. Might need a little bit more Ln2. Oh man, we're almost at 280 likes, dude. You slackers are killing it. Love it. Absolutely love it. All right. Let's give more Ln2. I think this is going to be the last section. Going to run it until it dies, and we're running out of time. H115 for next 72. Try 7. Well, I'm gonna go right up to 6.9 next, and then we're gonna try it. Doesn't take much to keep that guy cool. All right, so we're getting there. I'll do 6.9 again. Or actually, we're gonna go up one step at a time. I'm hoping that might help a little bit. You got a chicken clock sometimes, bro. Chicken clock. We're getting there. It seems like it's going pretty well. Oh, we're getting there. I really think my memory has an issue. I think we're kind of doomed from the start. I think I switched the modules on accident. I have to you always keep track of which one is there. All right, so we're at 6.9 again. Look at that. Look at that, 3045. Nice. All right, so what we're gonna do is I'm gonna do the B clock again. I know it won't run 7 gig. Well, I'm not sure it will, but I don't want to reboot, and it's running really good right now. Oh yeah, I wanted to put this at, I forgot I was running memory higher. Maybe that was our issue. I forgot I was actually running a 195. The memory's not too tight, but it's much tighter than normal. Six, operators, power blocks, lower, yeah. Look at that, so 6920 ran, but lower score. Sometimes that happens with R15, it's kind of a pain in the ass. Let's go 150. That should be what? 6930, I think? I don't know, let's check CPU Z real quick. Yep, 6932. So let's try and give that a run. We weren't able to run this last time, but let's try it this time. Come on, baby, come on, come on, come on! Ah! Damn it! You know what I forgot? Shit. I forgot to raise the voltage a little bit more. All right, let's just, I'm gonna go for the next one and just basically run at maybe like 1.72, and then I'll try 1.74, and I'm just gonna do right to 6.9. Because we're running out of time, and the setup's gonna start getting really shitty right now, so it's gonna get a little bit weird. You guys are killing me with these chats, you know what I'm saying? All right, so we're almost done, but we need to go for the glory. So I'm gonna do 172. We're gonna do 195 here. Save. Now we're gonna go right to 6.9. We'll do a 6.9 run first to make sure the mount is. A lot of times when you reboot, it actually causes. It's an issue with paste. Actually, it doesn't run as good. So that's why, like, it's kind of like we're on that edge right now where it's probably not the greatest, to be honest. So let's do a 6.9 run real quick. So this is at what we were at 1.7 before. Now we're going to be at 1.72. I think a little bit of voltage should help on this. And what we'll do is I'll try 1.74, and then I think we're going to cut it at that. No, I think the setup might be shot now. Oh, you know what I forgot? I forgot to set the PL term. Shit. I keep on forgetting. I need to put it in there. It's 420 everywhere. It's past 420 anytime. It's like playing the lottery, having all but one number. All right. Let's see. We're not doing it. Watch your toes when he drops the mic. Alrighty. We're almost at 300 likes. Can we get to 300 likes? I mean, we only have 224 on right now, but we have 14 likes needed. Come on, broskies. Remember, as we get more likes, the algorithm likes it. We're going to do 1.74. This is where I wanted to, DMI is fine. Okay, maybe PLL term is too high. Let's try 172 there. $6.9, 6 gig. Seems like this chip likes to step it up first before I like run 6.9. If I run 6.5, 6.6, then it seems to run well, but kind of weird. Usually it's not like that. Usually sometimes I'll have to get it like right away. I'll have to set it real quick. It doesn't help that I don't have a meter on the pot right now. Basically it's just not good. Okay, so that worked out better. So what we did, let me just take a picture of these. And I know you guys, I need to get you that snapshot program. I'll share it out and stuff. This leg squat in half. Oh, we're at 295. Come on, 5 more. You guys are killing me. Killing me. All right, so we're at 1.74 and we have 1.72 on PLL term. Oh, shit. Hit the wrong button. Let's go to 125 again. And then I think this is going to be the last one. We might try 1.76, depending on how this runs. I'm almost done, about 10 minutes. I want to watch that Packer 49er game. Shit's good. Ooh, not bad. So that ran. Yeah, this is going to be the last run, I think. Because I still got to heat up and everything. It takes a while once you're done, because you got to make sure you hit everything good. Let's go. Come on, baby. No. Still not enough. All right, broskies. We failed this time. We hit 7 gig. The problem is we rebooted too much. A lot of the times you have to get up to, go up to where you want to bench right away. The more and more that you kind of play around with the setup, the more and more issues that you're going to cause. So right now it's pretty much, we probably would have to remount again, keep on going, you know. My hand kind of sucks right now. Come on, one more like and 300 and we can shut it down. But basically what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to heat it up. Problem is I don't even have a meter now because the thing's broken. So I think we're going to have to torch it. Actually, you guys can let me know how much, let's see. How loud is this torch right now? Not bad, right? Wife is calling from the bedroom. Yes, we hit 300! You guys aren't slacking so much for me. Alright, let's see if we can try to get temp center. I ran out of, always get to learn tons. It's not too loud with the torch, is it? Need to test it. No, I think we're done, broski. The setup is kind of getting a little weird. I've already sensed it, just the way it's running. It's not really running that loud, or running that great. So we're heating up. We're pretty much finishing up. Guys, it was a blast. I'm going to have to kill it for now. We have a lot of stuff coming up. Like and subscribe so you do not miss it. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to be doing memory streams. We're going to do some Ln2 stuff. We're going to do a bunch of different stuff coming up. This week is going to be a badass week. We're going to try to stream a couple times. You got Thanksgiving, so there's a holiday, so we get to do lots of good stuff. I might bench that W3175, that $3,000 CPU I have. So I don't know. We gotta think about it. I think we're going to do memory stuff first. We're going to do a bunch of different stuff. But you guys can't do anything unless you're subscribed and you like. So thanks, slackers, for coming. I'll see you next time. You guys rock. Slacker out.